Welcome back to Brownlow Books. This week I have read a book named after a thing that every girl has heard screamed in a nightclub bathroom. Shut Up, You're Pretty! So we have Shut Up, You're Pretty by Téa Mutonji. I have read this because it is on the Canada Reads shortlist for this year. I am not going to talk about it in the context of Canada Reads. I am just going to tell you about it as if it is a thing I have just read on my own. So, it is called a collection of short stories. It is much too linear and following the same person for me to think that it's considered short stories. It's more like, it feels like snippets of a person's life. And like, it real short. It doesn't even clock out at like 140. It's like 132 pages or something. So it feels much more like a novella of memories almost. And I don't know if that makes sense or not. Makes sense in my brain. Anyways, we follow Loli, who is a Congolese Canadian immigrant from about the time she's 13 to, I think it was 25, 26. And so it's just like little snippets of her memory. So it is like one linear kind of story, which is why I think it's weird that it's called a collection of short stories by most people. Before anything, this book has hella trigger warnings. Okay? I want people to know what they're getting into before they get into this book, because I feel like I was lied to on how everyone talks about this book, how it's even blurbed on the fucking back, and I am like, what am I fucking reading? Hella trigger warnings, okay? Okay. I don't even want to list them for you. There's so fucking many, okay? Big ones are going to be like addiction, sex work, abuse, pedophilia. There's this like, do I want to call it colorism and racism? I feel like I do. Because like, Loli, who we're following, is very dark-skinned. She's in Scarborough. Scarborough is a very broad mix of people from all over. It is a poverty-stricken neighborhood that she's living in, like it is government housing, and like, this book is just fucking crazy on the trigger warnings, okay? If you have something specific, fucking ask someone, fucking find my Instagram and hit me up if you need to know about something specific, okay? I will do that. No problem. I should check if this is on the dog, on doesthedogdie.com, because I usually enter things that aren't on there that I've read. Yes, I'm that person. Okay, so, trigger warnings. But back to the thing. I feel like I was lied to about what this book is. The way that people talk about it, they're like, oh, it's this thing about, like, femininity. And I'm like, is it about femininity? Because this is a very specific, like, this is a very, very specific thing going on here, okay? In all honesty, I feel like it's not written for me. It's not. I look like this. I grew up here. I am not an immigrant. Like, I feel like this book is not universal in the way that everyone keeps saying, oh, it's such a universal feeling of, like, femininity and, like, growing up a woman. And I'm just like, is it though? Is it? So, yeah, they keep saying that, like, women should be connecting with it. You're supposed to connect with it. You connect with the character so much. But, I didn't. You're supposed to connect with them, but, like, this character is already so detached from themselves that they're almost emotionless. It's just, it had this really weird kind of overarching vibe of, like, I am not here, I am not myself until someone else breaks me. Everything in my life is from someone else. Like, almost like she's just kind of like a shell that's there and someone smashes it open, you know, the hollow Easter bunny. It was weird in that manner. I did not connect with it the way that I think people were expecting people to. And it's really what this book reminded me of was Joshua Whitehead's Johnny Appleseed, but if our main character was instead a young black immigrant girl. It very much felt like that for me. It had a lot of the same things. Like, it has a lot of, like, the queerness, because she is involved with both men and women. There's a lot of, like, stuff about addiction in it, and, like, that kind of what goes along with that, and then an aspect of like sex work as well. And like I get both of it together, like socioeconomic things that you cannot control. But what's different between Johnny Appleseed and Shut Up You're Pretty is that in Johnny Appleseed, our protagonist seems to take accountability for themselves. Like, I'm in this situation. I can do things to better myself. I'm going to try to do things. And, like, I didn't like that book either. This one, like, I'm in this situation because I'm a black immigrant. And you're like, you've made some choices. Like, this isn't entirely just thrust upon you and, oh, you're just living how it is now. Like, you're going to school, you're trying to better yourself, but, like, it sounds like you're just doing that because, like, someone told you to. I don't know, it feels so weird. There's, like, a lack of accountability on, like, any decision they're making in their life. It's just, like, these things keep happening to me, so that's what they are. But I don't know. This is a weird book. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. But usually when I say that, I feel an indifference about the book, and I don't feel indifferent about this book. I just feel like this is a different book than what I was sold. I think that's what it keeps coming down to. You were talking about this book in this way, because, like, it's been talked about for Canada Reads a little bit, like, in the opener explaining who people are and what book they've chosen. Like, the fucking blurb on the back doesn't even really describe the book I read. So yeah, there's this, like, weird disconnect between what the book is being told it is and what the book actually is, and then, like, a disconnect from the book to its main protagonist. I don't know. I literally don't know what to say about this book. It's just, I am sure there's a very specific kind of person who this book is written for, and who's going to connect with this book and is going to enjoy this book and be like, wow, I'm seen. And I don't like denying people that, but at the same time, there's also, you know, it's a big pile of shit happening to this girl. And, like, there are some shitty decisions where she brought that on herself kind of thing, but, like, I guess it's just going back to the whole, I'm about people's joy now. I've read about hardships enough that it's, you want some joy. And so it's, this is a really hard, tough book. So short, so hard. But, like, maybe the shortness is what is keeping me from connecting with that character that we're seeing. But, like, at the same time, like I said, she's so disconnected from herself. She's detached. She's just like, I go through life. And just, so yeah, my friend read this book before me, and she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, if you're saying that, that says something to me. Because, like, I don't always enjoy the things that she enjoys. She doesn't always enjoy the things that I enjoy. We have different reading styles. And so I was like, okay, if you're saying something about this that I thought was something that, like, the way they were saying it, I was going to enjoy. I'm like, there's something up. And yeah, it is the fact that this book is sold as something that it is not actually there. Like, very annoyed. I don't know how many more times I can say that it was sold as something else. So I'm just going to let that go. We'll talk about it more when I get to my Canada Reads video, which you'll probably see in, like, a week to a week and a half from this video. I have one more book to go. I still have Denison Avenue to read. So, like, we'll get into all that then. For now, this one only has 2,165 ratings as on Goodreads at the time of this video. 3.66 stars. Every Canada Reads book I've read this year has had low stars. Like, in the threes. Like, the low threes. And I'm just kind of like, this is an insane fucking year. I don't know what Canada Reads is doing. But that is not for this video. Okay, so I read Shut Up You're Pretty. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you around next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see me talk about Canada Reads for probably a fucking hour.